Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. This next episode is all about the importance of a morning routine and actually how to establish one. About 4 or 5 years ago, I started toying with this idea. I got really tired of hitting the snooze button. I kept telling myself I would do my workout in the morning and I would never get it done. And I would end up rushing to work. And it was just, I never really felt like I had any time for me. Then if someone asked me to hang out after work and I wanted to socialize, I didn't have the availability because I wanted to go to the gym because I didn't do my workout in the morning and it was important to me, but then I wasn't really seeing my friends and then I just felt like I spent my whole day just working and then working out and then wishing I had time to see family and friends and then sometimes choosing to see them, but then I wouldn't do my workout and I wouldn't feel good about myself and just in general, it was a really negative cycle and I didn't really enjoy it. Anyways, as I started to explore becoming an entrepreneur, I knew that was important to me. And I worked a 9 to 5 plus many other jobs. I never just had one. And I just realized that if I truly wanted to build my business, then I needed to create space for me and I wanted to feel good while doing it. So I didn't want to neglect my health. It was important to me. So I just got really clear about what I wanted and why. And then I realized that if I really wanted to not only just hit my health goals and aesthetic goals and fitness goals, but I also wanted to build a business and I wanted to also keep my social life and be able to see friends and family and all that stuff, then I really needed to take advantage of the mornings because the mornings are that time that they're less likely to be interrupted. So I started reading a lot of books and I listen to books. Audio is my favorite. Audible is probably my favorite thing. This is not sponsored, but I've listened to probably 50 something audiobooks in the past like 4 years or so, probably more than that, to be honest. And it's all related to like personal development sort of things. So all that to say, I started with Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning. And that is what got me first thinking about how to create and implement a morning routine. So I started with that book. And it was helpful. I definitely started to wake up earlier. I started to try meditation. I tried to do my workouts in the morning. I wasn't always successful. In the beginning, it was really difficult. But then I came across the book, The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And I've talked about this a lot. It's literally, she is a huge inspiration to me. I'm just going to say this now. I will meet her one day. I will work with her one day. I will be on her show, the Mel Robbins show one day, and she will teach me how to get my own show. So I'm just putting that out there on the universe. But she is someone that I look up to a lot. And she talks about the 5-second rule. So I'm going to teach you what that is, and I hope this helps you. And then we'll talk about how to build that morning routine. We're going to get into that in a second. So what she talks about is counting down from 5 and using this for all types of day, like when you just don't want to do something. So if you don't want to do your workout or if you have to get work done and you don't feel like it, she'll say count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like a rocket ship, and just go. And there's some part of your brain that gets activated and you usually take action. So although she talks about using the 5-second rule through all areas of your life, I've implemented it specifically in my morning routine just to help me get out of bed so I don't hit the snooze button. So when my alarm goes off, first of all, I do not put my phone by my bedside. I leave it across the room intentionally, so I actually have to physically get up and turn off the alarm. Because anytime you go back to sleep, that decreases your productivity by 40%. And like I shared with you earlier, I have a lot of goals, I have a lot of dreams, a lot of aspirations, and so I don't have time to hit snooze. I really don't. There's only 24 hours in a day. I sleep for at least 8 to 9 of them. And then the rest has to be, put to work. And I need to make time to cook and to clean and to relax and spend time with family. So there's really only a certain amount of hours that are utilized for work. Okay. So I don't have time to snooze, all that to say that. So when the alarm goes off, I count down backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up, turn the alarm off, go into the bathroom, brush my teeth, get ready. And that just is the beginning to starting your morning routine. Okay. So that is step one. If you are a mom listening, if you're someone who's like, I can't not have my phone by my bedside. Mel Robbins says this, and she's a mom, and she's like, well, I think they'll be okay. You can have it where you set where it's like if certain people call you in case of an emergency, they can get through that do not disturb. So there are ways about it. But at the end of the day, you will feel a lot better when you had adequate amount of sleep, you were not interrupted, and that you were able to kind of just get up and out of the bed and not have to hit snooze. So all that to say, that's the beginning. That's the very first thing. Then you're probably like, well, Tony, I'm not trying to start a business. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm recording this in the middle of COVID-19 during a pandemic where maybe unfortunately, you're not working right now. Or maybe you're a teacher and you're just off for the summer. Or maybe, you feel like you can start your day with your job. You have the flexibility so you don't have to start it till later and all that stuff. But we all know that if you start it later, you finish working later. And who wants to work all day? Don't you want to get it over with so you can enjoy yourself without feeling guilty and you could actually binge watch Netflix and all of those things? Totally supportive of binge watching Netflix and Hulu and all of those shows. I'm totally okay with that. But we also want to make sure we're taking care of us first and we're doing all those things for us first. And so your morning routine for me, when I was working a full-time job and all those other jobs while building a business, I had no choice. If I really was serious about my goals, my wake up time was 5 a.m. Now I'm pushing it up a little bit, but because of the heat right now, it's coming back down to going earlier because I do my walks every morning. And it's just so hot. So for me, although I was now waking up because I didn't have to really get up, because fortunately I do work from home. I've always worked from home since I did my business full time, and it wasn't super hot. I could wake up at 7, do my morning routine, and start my day at 9. But now, if I want to start my day at 9. And I mean like coaching calls and stuff, all that stuff. But if I want to do that and I also want to work out and not be super hot and sweaty, now I'm going to have to wake up a little bit earlier. But all that's to say, the time that you choose to wake up does not matter. It would be nice if you can get it to consistently be around the same time every day. If you do have a schedule that's different, where some days you start at 9, some days you start at 12, some days you start at 4, maybe you work nights, all that stuff, then at least try to leave a few hours, about like 2 to 3 hours. And so this is something also too we want to discuss for everyone's different. At first, it could just be a half hour or an hour. Now, when I say start your day, wake up 2 to 3 hours before you actually have to start your day, that doesn't mean your morning routine needs to be that long. That's just to create space. But at first, maybe just start with 30 minutes earlier. So if you know you have to start your day at 9, and normally you wake up at 8 and you kind of like rush, you take a shower, you maybe eat really quick, and then you're on the computer by 9, maybe start waking up at 7:30. In that half hour window, you can do so much. And this is what I'm going to give you guys some suggestions. And everyone's morning routine can look different. It doesn't have to be what mine looks like. But with my morning routine, I usually wake up. First thing I do is obviously go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, make myself some coffee. I drink 24 it's like 24 to 32 ounces of water. And yes, I put BCAAs, or now I'm going on a tangent. The studies are inconclusive of the effectiveness or not. Honestly, I just do it because I like the taste of it and it helps me get my water down. So I drink a big chug of water. I make myself a cup of coffee. And then I sit down and I meditate. And so what I share with you is that when I first started my morning routine, my meditation was to something like Headspace, an app, or Insight Timer is another app. And it was probably for like anywhere from like 2 to 3 to maybe 5 minutes. Now I actively meditate for about 10 minutes every day. And now what I do, because I kind of got tired of all the apps, I went through all these different meditation podcasts. I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, right? So I like to try something new and different. So I'm still meditating. I'm just doing it in a different way. It's kind of like your workouts. You always want to work out, but you could always change up how you work out just to keep you interested and engaged. So I wake up and I do all those things, and I sit down and I meditate. And now what I'm currently doing is I look on YouTube I usually type in what I'm feeling. So, for example, this morning, I was feeling a little bit anxious. So I typed in 10-minute meditation for anxiety. It pulls it right up. There's so many options, but I usually pick the first one, and I just listen to that. I close my eyes, and I meditate for 10 minutes. Then when I'm done with my meditation, I usually write in my journal. It usually takes me, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes if I have a lot on my mind, maybe it takes me a little bit longer, but not much. Then I used to watch a video by Darren Hardy. I talk about him a lot, and he would have it's like a educational video every morning. It's called the Darren Daily. And I watch Darren Daily Monday through Friday every single morning for my morning routine for the past 3 years. 3 years. And it's always different. It's always different. And that really helped me for such a long time. But I've gotten to this place where I no longer felt like it was serving me. So I actually just recently have decided to stop doing that. And instead, I actually, I'll write out what I have to do for the day. I'll take note of what I have to do. And then I usually just go for my morning walk. And so I kind of took that out because I just felt like it was no longer serving me. And the purpose is not to waste time. It's to use that time to help you be more productive. So that is my morning routine. And the reason why I implement that every single day, except, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, on a Saturday or a Sunday, sometimes I do it because I know it helps me feel good. And maybe I'm actually, as an entrepreneur, you kind of do work every day. I don't work long hours every day. I usually have like 3 or 4 days of the week where I'm working really, really long hours. And then the other days I'll probably check in with my clients for a couple hours, or I might write for a little bit, and they tend to be shorter days. But for me, I notice that the days that I implement my morning routine, I'm more productive with my work day. So if I know that I have some work to do that day, I will try to leave space in the morning just to take a little bit of time for me. And so the reason why the morning routine is so important is because obviously it gives you time to do things like meditation or journaling, or maybe some people do yoga or stretching or go for a walk or do their workout, whatever it is. But either way, it's not even so much about what you do. It's just about doing something that's intentionally saying that I matter, and I matter before everybody else. I have to fill up my cup first. So that's why it's so important. So if you've been kind of thinking about implementing a morning routine, this is something that I want you to keep practicing. Like anything, it's a habit. And at first it's hard, right? It's like when you first start working out, it's really, really hard. But the more you do it, the more you enjoy it, the more you get comfortable with it, and the more you want to do it, and the more you look forward to it. And I honestly, guys, because my morning routine, I feel like I give so much credit as to why I'm able to do what I do today and be so successful. I love it. It's like I actually, like me hitting the snooze button. Once again, it might happen occasionally, but it's so rare because my mind automatically goes to like, no, this is my time for me. I look forward to this time. And if you can practice creating space in the morning, you'll be able to practice creating space in other parts of your day. But I don't want to overwhelm you. Just start with your morning routine. Next week, I'm going to share with you how to create an evening routine, which is equally as important and not my strongest. I'm working on it. But I hope that you find this episode helpful. And if you did, please let me know. Screenshot the episode, share it on your story. Let me know your big takeaway. If you're not already subscribed to the Tips with Tony podcast, please subscribe. A new episode comes out every Monday and every Wednesday. So when you're subscribed, you don't miss a beat. So anyways, as always, this is Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.